The moment you've all been waiting for is finally here. Episode 5 of The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 hits hard with an emotional breakdown that no fan can afford to miss. This is the turning point where feelings explode, secrets unravel, and the characters face their deepest fears. If you thought the earlier episodes were intense, wait until you see how everything comes crashing down in this one. The emotions are raw, the drama is real, and the heartbreak is unforgettable. Right from the start of this episode, the tension is thick. Belly's world begins to shift in ways that shake her to the core. The relationships she's built over, the summer friendships and romances, start to crack under the pressure of misunderstandings and unspoken feelings. The episode wastes no time showing us how much Belly has been holding inside, and we can see it in every glance, every pause, every hesitant word. The build-up to the emotional breakdown is slow but steady, making it all the more powerful when it finally arrives. One of the first signs of trouble is the growing distance between Belly and Conrad. The once easy connection now feels fragile, filled with awkward silences and unspoken tensions. They both want to reach out, but something holds them back. It's as if they are standing on opposite sides of a wall they can't climb over. The audience can feel the sadness in their eyes as they try to hide their pain behind forced smiles. This silent struggle sets the tone for much of the episode and pulls viewers deep into the emotional storm. At the same time, Belly's relationship with Jeremiah faces its own tests. Jeremiah is trying hard to support her, but the emotional weight she carries begins to strain their bond. Moments that once brought comfort now feel heavy and difficult. Jeremiah senses Belly's pain but doesn't fully understand its cause, which adds to the growing tension. The episode carefully shows us these small cracks, using close-ups and soft background music to make every look and touch speak louder than words. As the episode progresses, the emotional pressure builds until it becomes impossible to contain. Belly's internal battle is the heart of this episode. She struggles between wanting to protect her loved ones and the overwhelming need to express her true feelings. The scenes where she fights back tears or stares out into the distance are some of the most powerful moments in the entire season. They show a vulnerability that many viewers will recognize in their own lives, a feeling of being lost and unsure about what to do next. The writing does an excellent job of making the characters' emotions feel real and relatable. The dialogue is simple but meaningful, avoiding over-the-top drama while still delivering powerful impact. The actors' performances, even in a faceless video context, can be imagined through the intensity of the words and the pacing of the scenes. Each line is carefully chosen to push the story forward while keeping the audience emotionally invested. This first section of the episode is all about setting up the emotional storm to come. The subtle clues, the careful pacing, and the layered relationships all work together to create a sense of growing tension. By the time the breakdown happens, viewers are fully ready to feel every heartbreak, every tear, and every sigh. This slow burn approach makes the episode more than just drama. It makes it a deeply emotional experience that stays with the audience. Long after the screen goes dark, the music plays a key role here too. Soft, melancholic tunes underscore Belly's moments of doubt and sadness, creating an atmosphere that pulls at the heartstrings. The way the music swells and then quiets at just the right times helps to guide viewers through the emotional highs and lows. Combined with the storytelling, this makes the episode feel like a complete journey, a ride through pain, hope, and fragile love. In summary, Episode 5 doesn't just tell us that Belly and the others are hurting, it shows us the slow, careful build-up to the emotional breakdown makes the moment hit harder than anything before. It's a turning point for the season and for the characters, opening the door to new challenges and deeper feelings. For fans of The Summer I Turned Pretty, this episode is a must-watch, a powerful reminder of why they fell in love with the story and its characters in the first place. The emotional tension in Episode 5 reaches a new level as we move deeper into the story. What makes this episode so special is how it shows the characters facing their inner demons in ways we haven't seen before. Belly's emotional breakdown isn't just about sadness, it's about confusion, frustration, and a desperate need for answers. The episode carefully unwraps these feelings layer by layer, making the audience feel every moment of her struggle. One of the most intense scenes comes when Belly finally confronts Conrad. Up until now, their silence has been filled with things left unsaid and the pain of what could have been. The confrontation isn't angry or loud. Instead, it's quiet and raw, full of pauses and heavy breaths. Belly's voice shakes as she tries to explain how lost she feels. Conrad, usually so composed, shows cracks in his armor, revealing his own fears and regrets. This conversation is a turning point, not because they immediately fix everything, but because it brings their true feelings out into the open for the first time. The tension is so thick you can almost feel it wrapping around the characters like a physical force. What makes this scene stand out is the way it's shot and written. The camera focuses closely on their faces, capturing every small expression, the flicker of sadness in their eyes, the hesitation before speaking, the subtle movements that show they care even when they're hurt. The dialogue is simple but powerful, full of short sentences and pauses that make the emotions feel real and relatable. It's a reminder that sometimes what's left unsaid weighs heaviest on the heart. While Belly and Conrad wrestle with their feelings, Jaramir's role becomes even more complex. He's caught between supporting Belly and dealing with his own pain. The episode shows how Jaramir struggles to understand Belly's silence and the distance growing between them. In one scene, Jaramir tries to comfort Belly, but she pulls away, unable to open up. The frustration and sadness on Jaramir's face are clear. He wants to help, but doesn't know how. This adds a layer of heartbreak to the episode, showing that sometimes love isn't enough when emotions get too tangled. The episode also uses these moments to explore the theme of isolation. Even though Belly is surrounded by people who care, she feels alone in her pain. The scenes where she is by herself walking on the beach, sitting quietly in her room, are filled with a sense of loneliness. The sound design supports this feeling with gentle waves, distant voices, and silence. That feels heavy. These quiet moments give the audience a chance to connect with Belly's inner world, understanding her fears and doubts without a single word spoken. Another unique aspect of this episode is how it handles the balance between hope and despair. Despite the emotional weight, there are small sparks of hope that suggest things might get better. Belly's determination to face her feelings, Conrad's willingness to listen, and Jaramir's care all hint at the possibility of healing. These moments are subtle but important. They prevent the episode from becoming too dark and keep viewers invested in the character's journey. The pacing of episode 5 is carefully crafted to keep viewers on edge. The emotional highs are balanced with quieter, reflective scenes that give space for feelings to settle before rising again. This ebb and flow creates a natural rhythm, much like real life, where moments of crisis are often followed by silence and thought. This approach makes the emotional breakdown feel more authentic and impactful. Supporting characters also play a role in this emotional journey. Friends and family appear in brief but meaningful scenes that show how everyone is affected by Belly's struggles. Their concern and attempts to help add depth to the story, reminding viewers that no one faces pain completely alone. These interactions are short but packed with emotion, showing the ripple effect of Belly's breakdown on those around her. The soundtrack continues to enhance the mood, with songs that match the tone of each scene perfectly. From soft piano melodies during moments of sadness to more intense, slow-building music during confrontations, the soundtrack guides the audience's feelings without overpowering the story. This careful use of music helps make the episode memorable and emotionally rich. By the end of this section, the emotional stakes have risen significantly. Belly's breakdown is no longer just a private struggle, it's becoming a turning point. That will change the dynamics between the main characters forever. The episode leaves viewers wanting to know what will happen next, how these wounds will heal, and if the characters can find their way back to each other. In conclusion, Episode 5 of The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 stands out because it doesn't just show an emotional breakdown, it makes the audience live it with the characters. The careful writing, strong performances, and thoughtful direction come together to create a powerful and unforgettable experience. This episode reminds us all how complicated feelings can be and why sometimes the hardest battles are the ones inside our hearts. Asterisk as the emotional intensity of episode 5 continues to unfold. The focus shifts to the ripple effects that Belly's breakdown has on the people closest to her. This section highlights how the fracture in her relationships exposes vulnerabilities not only in Belly, but also in Conrad, Jeremiah, and even her family. The episode uses these moments to explore deeper themes of trust, forgiveness, and the fear of losing those we love most. One of the most striking parts of this section is the shifting dynamic between Conrad and Jeremiah. Both men cared deeply for Belly, but their ways of showing it and understanding her pain are very different. Conrad, often silent and brooding, struggles with how to reach out without pushing her away. Jeremiah, more openly emotional, feels helpless and frustrated as he watches Belly retreat into herself. Their tension is palpable, but rather than focusing on rivalry, the episode humanizes both, showing their fears and hopes. This nuanced portrayal avoids cliches and instead presents a raw, emotional truth about complicated relationships. This episode also dives into how Belly's family responds to her distress. Unlike the romantic conflicts, family moments bring a sense of grounding and realism to the story. Scenes where Belly's mother or brother try to connect with her reveal how pain can create walls even between loved ones. Their conversations are not dramatic or loud. They're quiet, sometimes awkward exchanges that show the difficulty of understanding someone who is hurting deep inside. These interactions remind viewers that emotional struggles affect everyone around us and that healing often takes time. And patience. A standout scene shows Belly alone with her mother, where words are few but meaning runs deep. Her mother's gentle attempts to comfort her contrast with Belly's reluctance to open up, creating a tension that feels real and relatable. The scene uses soft lighting and close shots to emphasize the emotional distance and longing for connection. This moment highlights one of the episode's core themes, how love can sometimes feel not enough. When the pain is overwhelming, meanwhile, the episode carefully explores Belly's internal battle through subtle visual storytelling. Her quiet moments alone are contrasted with flashbacks of happier times, reminding viewers of what she is fighting to hold on to. These flashbacks aren't just memories, they symbolize hope and the possibility of reconciliation. The use of natural elements like the ocean, sunsets, and changing weather mirrors Belly's emotional storms, making the environment a silent character in her journey. This creative choice adds depth and beauty to the storytelling, elevating the episode beyond just dialogue and plot. The episode's pacing continues to play a crucial role here. It slows down to give weight to these intimate moments, allowing viewers to feel the heaviness of the characters' emotions. This slower pace is a deliberate choice to reflect the complexity of healing and understanding, which rarely happens quickly or neatly. The silence between characters, the pauses in conversations, and the lingering looks all work together to build a rich emotional texture that invites the audience into the characters. World, music, and sound design remain powerful tools in this section. The soundtrack shifts between delicate instrumentals during Belly's quiet reflections and more tense, subtle crescendos as conflicts simmer beneath the surface. These sounds never overpower the story but instead enhance the feelings, guiding viewers through the emotional landscape. The careful layering of ambient noises, like the whisper of wind or footsteps on sand, adds a tactile sense of place and mood, grounding the drama in a believable world. The emotional depth is further enriched by the episode's attention to small, everyday gestures. A comforting touch, a hesitant smile, or a fleeting glance speak volumes about what the characters feel but cannot say. These details make the story feel alive and real, showing that sometimes what's left unsaid is as important as spoken words. The subtlety of these moments invites viewers to connect emotionally on a deeper level, making the heartbreak and hope more personal. As this section concludes, the episode sets up a crucial turning point. The characters stand at a crossroads, forced to decide whether they will let their fears pull them apart or use this moment of pain to grow stronger together. The unresolved tensions and open questions create a sense of anticipation for what comes next, keeping the audience eager to follow the story's unfolding. In summary, this part of episode 5 is a masterclass in emotional storytelling. It explores the fragility of relationships, the challenges of communication, and the enduring power of love and hope. By focusing on the characters' internal struggles and their impact on those around them, the episode deepens the emotional resonance and leaves a lasting impression. For viewers, it's a reminder that the hardest moments often bring the greatest opportunities for growth and connection. The emotional journey in episode 5 reaches its peak as the story begins to weave together all the threads of pain, hope, and transformation that have been building throughout the episode. This final section doesn't just show an emotional breakdown, it reveals the first steps toward healing and change. It's where the characters face their truths and begin to imagine a future beyond their struggles, making it one of the most powerful moments in the entire season. One of the most compelling elements. Here is how Belly takes control of her own story. After so much silence and internal conflict, she finds the courage to speak her truth, not just to others but to herself. This self-realization is subtle yet profound. It's not about dramatic declarations or sudden changes. Instead, it's about small acts of bravery like allowing herself to cry openly, reaching out for help, or admitting her fears. These moments feel genuine and deeply human, reminding viewers that healing is a process, not a single event. The scene where Belly finally opens up to Conrad is especially significant. Their conversation is filled with honesty and vulnerability, stripping away the walls they've both built. Instead of focusing on blame or regret, they talk about their feelings and hopes for the future. This shift from conflict to connection is tender and raw, filled with pauses that allow the weight of their words to settle. The emotional honesty between them offers a glimpse of what could be possible if they choose to move forward together. Meanwhile, Jaramir's role in this section is equally important. Though he has struggled to understand Belly's pain, he shows incredible patience and support. Instead of pushing her, he gives her space while making it clear he is there when she's ready. This balance of empathy and respect highlights a mature form of love, one that honors the other person's pace and boundaries. Their moments together feel like a quiet promise that no matter how hard things get, they won't face it alone. Family ties also take on new meaning in this section. Belly's interactions with her mother and brother show tentative steps toward reconciliation and understanding. They don't solve everything overnight, but the effort to bridge the gaps and offer support is clear. These scenes emphasize that healing relationships is messy and imperfect, but worth striving for. The family moments add a sense of warmth and hope amid the emotional storm, grounding the story in the importance of belonging and acceptance. Visually, this section uses soft, warm lighting and natural settings to symbolize the possibility of renewal. Scenes by the ocean under fading sunlight and in quiet rooms create a calm atmosphere that contrasts with the earlier turmoil. The use of color and light mirrors the characters' emotional shifts, suggesting that even after darkness, there is light ahead. These artistic choices enhance the storytelling, making the episode not just a narrative but an emotional experience that resonates on many levels. The music here plays a crucial role in underscoring this shift from despair to hope. Gentle, uplifting melodies accompany key moments of connection and self-acceptance, while softer, reflective tunes support the quieter, introspective scenes. The soundtrack helps to carry the audience through the emotional transformation, making the journey feel complete and satisfying. The episode closes with a powerful sense of possibility. While not all problems are solved and not every question answered, the characters' willingness to face their emotions and lean on each other sets the stage for growth and healing. The final scenes leave viewers with a feeling of bittersweet hope, acknowledging the pain but also celebrating the strength found in vulnerability. In essence, this last section transforms what could have been just a sad episode into a story of resilience and connection. It honors the complexity of human emotions and the difficulty of navigating relationships, while offering a message that even in the darkest moments, there is a path forward. For fans of The Summer I Turned Pretty, Episode 5 becomes a standout. Chapter 1 that not only breaks hearts but also touches souls.